Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is your host, your boy, your one and only Galaxy, and I'm signing in to another amazing episode of Comic-Con Radio. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy signing in for Comic-Con Radio. Coverage of pop culture events from around the globe, amazing interviews with celebrities, daily recaps and reviews of popular television, The Walking Dead, Z Nation, Van Helsing, DC Titans, Flash, The Legends of Tomorrow, Black Lightning, American Horror Story, Green Arrow, movie reviews, everything Comic-Con and fandom from around the globe. Comic-Con Radio. Get ready to enter our universe. Let's go. In today's episode, we're going over Black Lightning. That's right, Black Lightning. Another one of my favorite shows. You might say, wow, you have so many favorite shows. I do. I have a lot of favorite shows. It's Black Lightning. It's one of my favorite shows. It's really great. You know, the show really kind of gets you in a different way because it shows how a superhero can basically juggle family life and being a superhero. Now, if you didn't watch season 1, please go ahead and do so because I'm talking about the season 2 premiere. Now, season 1 was amazing. The show's very different. It talks about community stuff. It talks about stuff that happens in urban areas and different things. It really touches a lot of different issues and things that are going on. The show, you know, it's like, okay, the writers are doing such a great job talking about things that are happening that they're probably saying, okay, let's add a zap here and a lightning bolt there because, hey, this is a superhero TV show. But it's so amazingly well written and it's put together really well. The characters are amazing. They're just perfect for their roles. And the characters look like they really enjoy their roles a lot. They fit in it perfectly, and it's amazing. Now, you have to understand, the show is on the CW, and it's one of the only superhero TV shows on the CW that it's not in the Arrowverse. So The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow, of course, is in the Arrowverse. And I just wanted to bring that up because it's not. But I think the showrunners, they're trying to kind of eat those words and maybe add it to the Arrowverse. We don't know yet. The show's doing well on its own. I think if there is any crossovers, it has to be done very smart because the show is much different. It's not set up in... Okay, it's set up in a fictitious town. Yes, the town is fictitious. The town is not real. But see, the things that they're doing in the show, the causes, the stuff about neighborhood things, that's what's happening in real life. And it's going on all over the world, and especially here in the United States. There's a lot of these things that are really touching everyone, and the show is really amazing. So if you haven't watched the show and you listen to my radio series, go watch the show. It's amazing. But I'm going to be talking about this show weekly. This was the season premiere. It's airing on Tuesdays right after The Flash on the CW. And, of course, you know, the CW is part of Warner Brothers, which, you know, runs DC, etc., etc. So, basically, the whole premise of the show, what the show is about, it's about a high school principal, which is Jefferson Pierce. No, it's Jefferson Pierce, played by Cress Williams. Now, I like Cress Williams. He's a cool dude. He likes our posts on social media. Cress, if you're listening, we would love to interview you on the show. Hopefully, we'll get you in soon, and we'll go from there. And who's a retired superhero? You know, he was a superhero for a long time. He plays the persona of Black Lightning. 9 years ago, after seeing the effects it had on his family, he let it go. But now he's kind of like forced to do it again because these vigilantes are on the rise again. And it's a gang called the 100. And you know, in like terms, you're like, this is 100, man. Not like that, like 100, man. Not like that. But you're like, You got to be 100 with me, yo. I said, mine. But anyways, the gang, the 100, is a crime syndicate, and they're led by a very notorious mastermind named Tobias Whale. What does that mean, Tobias Whale? He's like a big whale. Now, this dude, Tobias Whale, on the TV show, he's up there, okay? He is, I believe, like 69 years old. 69, they chose that age. 69, give me a 68 and I owe you one. No, anyways, he's 69 on the show. He looks like he's like 30 years old. So he is basically, the kingpin that was hit. Now, he was formerly a corrupt politician, and he's leader of the 100. Now, basically, he comes back on the show, and it's played by Marvin Jones, and his nickname is Crondon. He's kind of a rapper, actor, all that. Crondon, that sounds like one of the villains that Flash fought in the Flash TV show. But anyways, a little bit into him. I want to get into a little bit into these characters because a lot of people are like, okay, who's these characters? What are they about? So basically, Tobias Whales was raised in Freeland. They're victims of mental and physical abuse from their father. Eldridge, which, in season 1 talks about that. Basically, Tobias Whales, he's an albino. Now, he's albino, in the TV series, but he's taking this drug that keeps him young and things like that. And basically, he was brought down by Jefferson's father, Alvin Pierce, and which Tobias killed, basically, and shoved the articles down his throat until he was dead, which is kind of sad. And he killed Alvin like that. Throughout the series, you see, Tobias in his office or his home, and he's always ordering people around and saying scary things and stuff like that. And, he's like a master villain, a master villain. And, he's a big dude in real life as well. And his powers are longevity, which, he takes this serum and he's able to extend his life without experiencing the effects of aging or deteriorating. And he has immense strength. Now, when we say strength, he has the strength of, I believe, 4 or 5 humans. He's that strong. He can basically lift somebody with one arm and pick them up, and they can't move around. So he's tremendously strong, and he's always at it to get the Black Lightning. And he's also an expert in hand-to-hand combat. You never see him getting his hands dirty, though. He has somebody to do that. And he's a great leader of his gang, but he knows how to keep them in check. And he has this crazy harpoon gun, which he's really skilled with that. But, without his serum, I think he's going to go bye-bye. But I think that's really cool. Now, another character that's part of the Tobias crew, which he always does his dirty work, is basically his henchwoman and his assassin. And she got her ass killed. Cyanide, yes, that's right. Her name is Cyanide. She got killed by Kara in the ending of episode 1 in season 2. Now, everybody thought Cyanide was invincible because she's an expert assassin. She never talks. She never talks on the TV show. She just does. Every now and then she says something crazy, and then she doesn't say anything crazy. But she's a trained killer. She's an expert combatant, and she basically goes toe-to-toe. Look, her and Thunder fought in season 1, and Cyanide doesn't back down. A lot of people were happy that she passed away. We got so many messages from people and emails and stuff like that saying, oh my God, we're so happy she got killed. But, she was a cool part of the show. she gave a difference. Now, she's bulletproof because she has some kind of, stuff built into the first layer of her skin. So it gives her this bulletproof power. So for her to get killed by Kara, Kara knew what's up. Because, see, Kara worked for, the organization that basically, looks at everything. And she's a spotter. And you see her at the end of episode 1 going to Peter Gamby saying, hey, I need your help. He was all nervous. He was like, go away, blah, 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 blah. But she kills him. She kills her. She kills her. And that's kind of cool, But anyway, so Kara, she's like a spotter for the ASA. She was also the vice principal of Garfield High. Did you see the episode when Jefferson finds out that she's part of ASA? He's like so shocked. And Kara's played by the actress Sky Marshall. And I think she always had a heart. Every time things were going on, she was like sad about it. She did her job, but I think she was kind of like coerced or pushed into it. But she's kind of strong. I don't know if she's ultra strong because she's a skilled hand-to-hand combatant and she's a martial artist and she knows what's up. And she held her own against Cyanide, a bulletproof master killer. But she knew how to take her down. And she killed her by sticking her metal heel in her neck. Now, ladies, don't get any ideas. Don't walk around with high heels that has that shoots out a spike that's made out of some kind of metal that can go through bulletproof material and pierce through it and kill the person. So she knew what she was doing. She wore the right heels. She was like, I'm wearing the right heels and I'm going to go. And if things go down, I'm taking my heel off. I remember when I was young, my mom, every time we like acted up, she would throw her heels at us. No matter what corner I would turn, no matter what part of the house I was in, no matter what room, that heel hit me in the head. And I always used to tell my mom, I said, Mom, what if that goes in my eye? What if you take my eye out or it hits me in the throat? And she's like, it won't. My mom reminded me of Kara at that moment. When Kara took off her heels and she was holding the left and the right heel and she was like, okay, come on, Cyanide, let's go for this. Let's go. And she was like, psh, 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 psh. I was like, that's my mom right there. That's my mom. But no, she killed Cyanide. So Cyanide's gone. Now this show Black Lightning has a way to resurrect people. So I don't know if Cyanide's going to get resurrected. I don't know what's going to be happening. So we'll see what's up. 2 other characters that were amazing, and they introduced them on this episode, and I think they're going to be part of this whole season, is Robert Townsend and Bill Duke. Now, Robert Townsend, if you don't know who he is, he's a director. Remember Eddie Murphy Raw, the comedy show? He basically directed that. He was Meteor Man. He was in Hollywood Shuffle, The Parenthood. Oh my God, all sorts of movies and things like that. And it was great to see him. He's a great comedian and great director. And him being part of the show is amazing because he's Jefferson's longtime friend. Yeah, he's Jefferson's, and he plays the character Napier Frank, and he's part of the school district, and he's basically his buddy. And that's great. Now, another character that was introduced, which I said Bill Duke. I already said Bill Duke, right? The amazing Bill Duke. So cool. If you don't know who Bill Duke is, look him up. He was in Predator, Commando, Hoodlum. He plays that same character. And I gotta say it. What is his famous line? You damn effed up. He was in National Security. He always plays that role of that detective or that crime stopper or a master criminal or something like that. He's always in that scene. But one of my movies that I've seen a long time ago that he was in, and I think he did really well, was American Gigolo. He was a gigolo. That was the first. It was still a crime-related movie because a crime happened, and he set up, basically, in the movie, he set up Richard Gere, and he was like, whatever, Richard Gere. The reason why you're going down for this because you got no friends. And I'm the pimp daddy. He was basically a gigolo pimp that used to give him jobs, but then it didn't happen. But anyways, I'm going into something crazy over there, which I shouldn't be. But anyways, let's go back to Black Lightning. But Bill Duke, thank you for being here. He is part of the ASA. He was questioning Lynn about what's going on, and he basically told Lynn, you can't be around the pods anymore. I'm taking away your credentials. And she was like, what? That's messed up. That's really messed up. And I think he's going to be amazing. He's a great addition. Some hardcore people are starting to join, Black Lightning in this basically season. And also another thing is you're seeing Jennifer Pierce, which is played by China McClain. You're seeing her powers come into effect because last season, Nafisa Williams' powers came in, which she plays Anissa. She's Thunder. Last season, she was in her outfit a lot. But this season, in this episode, well, I know it's the first episode, but in this episode, you see her kind of like a Robin Hood type of figure. Because in the church, they were saying they need to raise money. They need X amount of dollars to help all the families of the green light children. So, all these kids are affected by this thing because of the drug. And they're getting all these superpowers. I think it's the ASA. Well, of course, it's the ASA, not I think, but of course, it's the ASA. They probably put all these crazy things in drugs to test it out because they're trying to find metas. That's their number one job. They're just trying to find metas and to basically make sure to get them. And all these kids are coming out with all these powers. You saw during the episode that kid, his face was turning all lighted up. Now, this whole show is about light, thunder, electricity. So it's playing along that line. And that light also in his neck, when the kid was coming in and he was talking to his mom was coming out and she said some bad things to him. She didn't mean it. That the light on his neck, I think, made her say those mean stuff. And it's kind of crazy. It's really, really crazy. Now, let me get into some other characters. So, Lynn is played by Christine Adams. She's a UK actress, very amazing. Of course, Jefferson is played by Cress Williams. And Bill Henderson. Now, let's talk about Bill Henderson. Now, he was Inspector Bill Henderson. And now he's basically, in this season, he's Deputy Chief. And he is played by the actor Damon Gupton. He is not a Black Lightning character. He's a Superman character. He is basically in and out of the Superman comic series. So for him to be in the Black Lightning series is kind of great. And that's what I always tell you guys out there, because some people are follow the comics like 200%. They're like, okay, the comics. No, they can't follow the comics by the T. They cannot do that, because if they do that, how are you going to be expecting things to come and the episodes to come? You're going to be watching it and you're going to have like this book in front of you and you're going to be like, okay, I know what's going to happen next. Okay, next. Yeah, they're using characters and parts of it and the basically premise of it, or somewhat the premise of it, but they're not going to use it exactly, word by word and action by action, because they can't. They still have to surprise you. It's television. They have to add modern times to it, what's going on. And Black Lightning does that great. They're basically one of the only superhero shows that talks about what's going on in America. And I've said that before, and I really, really appreciate that. That's amazing. I know it's in a fictitious town. They can't be like putting a town down or something like that. But, it's great. Now, there's another character that I didn't mention, which is Khalil Payne. Khalil pain or painkiller. Now, he was a student at the school. He gets paralyzed. He gets brainwashed by Crondon, and, the ASA is buddies with him, and they basically talk him into it, and basically they help him become a bad person. He's a metahuman now, and he's part of the criminal organization, the 100. And he has some powers. Now, he has superhuman strength, which his strength may be greater than Tobias's. It actually definitely is. Now, they did some kind of spine surgery on him, which makes him walk because he had paralysis. But he shoots a venom. Now, because of that surgery, the spine implant, he basically, his body creates a byproduct of it, and it's kind of like a venom, right? It's kind of like a venom, and that venom, they've weaponized it, and he can shoot it out. He could basically shoot it out like poison darts, and it's kind of like a gauntlet, and basically, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's pretty nasty as well. He shoots it out. That's going over some of the characters right there. Now, this season is going to be great. Let me tell you something about Black Lightning. Season 1 was not too long ago. That's what they should do with all these other shows. It wasn't that much time between the two seasons, and season 2 picked up where season 1 ended. That big ordeal happened at the school at Garfield High, and in season 1, they're basically saying, hey, what do we do? So they're going back and forth with Jefferson, and they're saying that they have to shut the school down. And Jefferson's pleading with them. He's saying, please, don't shut the school down. I will do whatever it takes. If you want me to basically resign, I'll resign. And if you want me to do whatever you want. He doesn't want to make all those kids go somewhere else. He really cares about the kids. He cares about them a lot. Now, you have to understand, he's a principal by heart. So he cares. Principals are voted in, and he really cares about those kids. Now, he's a principal with a superhero. That's really cool, isn't it? He knows all these kids, and he knows who's good or bad and all that stuff. But you could also understand, his daughter's a superhero, now his other daughter's a superhero. And Jennifer, she's pretty powerful. She's been floating the whole episode, and she gets wrapped in this cocoon of electricity. And you saw that one scene where she's like, what do I do? And all this electricity is like surrounding her. And then Jefferson comes and hugs her and wraps around him and takes all the electricity out because he had to get it out of her to control it. I'm thinking she's going to be able to control it, and I'm going to be for damn sure that she's going to use it really well. But she's very humane because in the episode, she was saying, will these powers affect me from having kids in the future? Come on. When I was 16, I didn't think of that. I didn't even talk about that. If I had powers, I'd be like, okay, can I fly? Can I shoot things? What can I do? But she was worrying about that. So it shows her humanity. Now, Thunder, on the other part, she's a powerful gal. And in season 1, when I saw her powers, at first I was like, because she has to breathe in. And I like how towards the end of season 1 and here in season 2, they're not making her breathe in all the time. Because I kind of didn't like that. Because she has to go, and then punch somebody. Now, her punches hurt. She be kicking bote, but I just didn't like her breathing in. And they made that big breathing noise, like, you know what I'm talking about, right? I didn't like it that much. But you know what? They're making her, in this episode 1, very rarely does she breathe in like that. She maybe once or twice, but they just showed her kicking butt. And like I said, she's dressed in a masked vigilante outfit, and she's kicking. She's showing that she can kick ass without her superpower outfit. Of course, she doesn't want to go robbing drug dealers' homes with her superpower outfit because, duh, she'd get caught and they would tell on her, but she's going there. And there's this one fight scene. Oh my God, did you see her? She was like, boom, 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 break the ankle, punch, kick, hit with the stick. And she whipped their booties, which is great. So Thunder, you're doing amazing. And they all have special powers. Now, the Pierce family is pretty powerful. You know, it's pretty powerful family. Yeah, the mom doesn't have a superpower, but the mom is powerful herself. And you're seeing that towards the end of season 1 and now in the first episode of season 2, she's coming into herself. She's showing what's up. She's like, no, I'm going to take care of the pods. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. She has her own power. She's a doctor. And that's and a scientist. And that's powerful enough, I think, because it really shows amazing side. And she's coming into herself. And the show is really amazing. Now, I know I spoke briefly of how Cyanide got killed earlier, but I didn't explain why she was there. She just didn't go there to kill her. Well, maybe she wanted to kill her, but she went there because she wanted to get the briefcase. Now, this briefcase has a lot of important information, and Crondon had it in his house, or Tobias had it in his house, and she wanted to get it. And the only way she can get it is to sneak in there. And she snuck in there. She broke into the house. She basically climbed in, and Cyanide was there. And she said, all right, let's go at it. And I explained that already. And basically, this episode is very amazing because, like I said, it's a fluid kind of connection from last season. It just goes forward and explains everything. Now, I know the show is very intricate. You know, the blue light babies, the green light children. I said the blue light special. The blue light special. Anyways, the green light children and what's going on in the home, the Pierce home with Lynn coming into her own, also with Jennifer coming into her own, Anissa showing that as a vigilante, she can do good. You know, Jefferson showing that he can balance family life, superhero life, because he is the king daddy of them all. He's Black Lightning, so the whole show is about him. He is Mr. Uno. So it shows what's going on with him. And with all these developed characters, what's going on with Peter Gamby, what's going on with Bill Henderson, it's kind of showing what's up in a dynamic of all these people. And also another scene that really grabbed me is when Deputy Chief Henderson calls Black Lightning and says, listen, I know who you are. Every time you appear, Jefferson is missing. Every time Jefferson appears, you're missing. You're Black Lightning. And then he does it. That's when Jefferson Pierce basically takes off his goggles and shows that he's Black Lightning. Now, let me tell you one thing. If I was on the show, I would have already known he's Black Lightning, especially standing that close. Yes, I know he has like a sound voice changer, and he changes his voice and basically, changes his voice and kind of sounds different. And yes, his suit's glowing and he's a superhero. So you kind of be like, okay, is it him? Is it not? But they have the same stature and the same look. You know, it's kind of like on the Green Arrow. Like, duh, it's Oliver Queen. Look at him. But you know what? It's a TV show. You have to go along with what they say. And what can we do? That's it. So the show is amazing. I can't wait till I report on this show weekly, do the weekly recap show. I'm going to start getting interviews in from some of the characters. I also want to get your input. Now, I know I went right into the show today and I didn't go into emailing or stuff like that. But if you would like to reach us, you can go to comicon-radio.com. You can give us an email or make a post right on our website. You can also go on our social media and give us a comment. Tell us what you think. Write us. I would love to pick out your questions and announce it on the show, because these first episodes of Comic-Con Radio for Black Lightning, etc., etc., it's mostly things I'm going to say just raw. But, as the show goes along, I'm going to bring in your questions. It could be anonymous. I can say your name. We don't know yet. But if you'd like to reach us on social media, go ahead. That's at Comic-Con Radio on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Also, if you want to give us a call us. It's toll free. It's 1-800-976-0305. I would love to hear from you guys. Leave a message. Let me know what you're thinking. And please follow us on social media because we put out a bunch of cool stuff. And I would love for you guys to follow us there. Subscribe to us. Let us know what's going on. Now, a little bit more into the show. As the series goes on this season, there's going to be a bunch of new characters added on. Now, some of these characters are going to be permanent. Some are going to go bye-bye. And some are going to develop things into a much stronger series. But by far, Black Lightning is an amazing show, a community show. And we did a tweet recently, and we said that, how Jefferson Pierce is juggling between family life and being a superhero. And that's a main point of the show. Now, this first episode was seamless from last season. It showed what happened in the school. Okay, the school got closed for a while, and now they want to shut it down. It showed how Jefferson Pierce reached out to his friend, which is played by Robert Townsend. It's Dr. Frank, to help him out. It explained who is the leader of the ASA now, right? Bill Duke. Bill Duke was questioning Lynn, so he's the head of the ASA now because last season, they had a death. And basically, last season when that happened, nobody was controlling the ASA, right? Nobody was doing it. You're like, okay, who's controlling the ASA now? What's going on? And, which was Martin Proctor, right? Which is played by Greg Henry. He was the leader of the ASA, but he got killed. So now you're seeing that Bill Duke is basically going to be that role. Bill Duke, Common Collective. It also shows how Jennifer is evolving her character, her superhero character, and she's going to be really powerful because she's powerful. It's also going to show how Anissa is developing herself as a superhero and not wearing her superhero outfit. It's going into Gambi. It's going into Khalil because Khalil, I know he's a bad dude, but maybe inside there's some goodness. We don't know. We just got to see how it plays out. And also Kara, she went to Peter Gambi for help because she doesn't know what to do. So we have to see what's going on with her. What's going to happen with her? What's going to happen with her character? She took out cyanide. Do you think Tobias is going to be okay with that? We just don't know. So tune in weekly to the Black Lightning on the CW. That's Tuesdays following The Flash. Wonderful show. And then tune in Wednesdays for the Black Lightning recap show on Comic-Con Radio. Once again, comiccon-radio.com. You can give us a call toll free, 1-800-976-0305, or on social media at Comic-Con Radio. Thank you guys for listening. I love you guys. Thank you for all your comments, your support. Let's grow this channel to 1 million listeners. Let's do this one listener at a time. This is Galaxy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Galaxy signing out for another wonderful episode of Comic-Con Radio. Love you guys. Till next time. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy signing out from another amazing episode of Comic-Con Radio. Tune in for your daily shows of Comic-Con Radio. Go to comiccon-radio.com. Reach us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at Comic-Con Radio. You can call us toll free right now. 800-976-0305. 800-976-0305. Comic-Con Radio, taking the world one listener at a time.